Well, here we are. Another Saturday evening here in Vukovar. I hope you're well. I hope you're awake, enjoying the full moon. Here's my camera, trying to get it sorted. Good evening and welcome. Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here? We should be live on the air. According to this, it's on air. Love these technical issues. Okay, we can close this window. So we've got technical issues, as usual, and a retrograde at the end of a retrograde. So, how are you all doing? I look like crap, actually. Welcome to another live webinar, live broadcast, and I hope you're all doing well. Let's talk about the energies. Let's talk about what's going on around this full moon. One, two, three, four. Can anybody hear me? Is anybody there? Well, wherever you are in the world, welcome to this beautiful full moon. The moon is here. It's already out in the sky because it's dark and it's full of positive energy. And today the energies have been really hard, and they've been really testing for a few of us the last few weeks, particularly the last week. A lot of things have changed in the energies that are around, and lots of crazy things going on. Many of you have been feeling crazy. Many of you have been feeling like your head's going to explode, particularly like me. And lots of strange connections, lots of strange activities, and I'm just blabbing away because I know there's not many of you out there watching, but here we go. So I need to get my energy, so I'm going to have a sip of coffee. And the sip of coffee is going to kick in very shortly. Boom, 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 boom. One viewer. Here we go. Analytics. So, full moon in Leo. What does this mean? It means it's a full moon in Leo. And normally a full moon, we're looking at the end of things going on. We're looking at new beginnings. And many of you are deciding what to do with your lives. And really it is time to step into mission. And the missions are becoming clearer and clearer. And we're looking at where we're going and what we're doing and who we're going to do it with. And really we're stepping into ourselves, stepping into our light, and stepping into what is, I suppose, the next important element of our lives. Whether we've got old people with us, new people with us, it doesn't really matter. We are who we are. We have got the lives that we're living, and we have today to appreciate. Who knows what tomorrow may bring? And I think the whole message behind where we're going is who we really are and what we really like to be, what would we like to be achieving from our lives. And that's a good question to ask yourself. What would you like to achieve going forward from today, from this moment? And many of you looking for answers. 99% of the answers come from within you, and they come from within you for a very good reason, because you are your own creator, you are your own God. You're creating your own microcosmos, and your microcosmos is what is made up of those people around you and who you have in your life and the purpose that you're about to serve going forward. And many strange things have happened, particularly with energy shifts, and a lot of people are feeling the energy shifts recently, particularly me. And we seem to have, a lot of us seem to have ascended. We've gone up one more notch, and we're leaving behind or reorganizing our lives with those that no longer are that important in our lives. And we found a new grasp on reality, a new grasp on direction and where we're going. I myself, I know where I'm going. I'm branching out into going on to live radio with a very dear soul sister of mine, Carrie Turcott. I don't want to push this show, but it's very important that, from my perspective, that as many people on the planet hear and lift the veils of illusion so they can get to grips with what is really important. And what is really important is themselves. And trying to find yourself on this journey is one of the most difficult, painful, excruciating, incredible journeys that you can go on. And many have tried before, many have had this wake-up call before and got to a certain point and really chosen not to fulfill or to continue, and they've gone back to old pastures. And this is always something that will challenge man, particularly from a psychological perspective, because of what we know. And what we know is what has been impregnated in our brains by our peers, by those that we love or allegedly love, and by those that love or allegedly love us. And our perception of life and the universe is really narrow. And when you begin your ascension journey, you're looking at everything that is within you. And I'm sorry, I have no script here, so I'm just rambling away because I believe that I should speak from my heart. I don't believe in scripts. I believe in planning, and I didn't plan for this event, mainly because I had some technical issues that unfortunately I wasn't able to test before I went live. So I'm gone live very rapidly and slightly unprepared. The journey within is very difficult, as I've said before. It's very testing, and it tests all that we know. And as we go through this path of discovery, we begin to find new things about ourselves. We understand that there is more to us. We understand that we know so much more than what we've been taught or learned. And those that have gone to university or gone to higher education and have got diplomas and doctorates and things like this, they all have this perception of life, of what it should be and how it should be, because it's all from books, it's all from textbooks, it's all from other people's works. And unfortunately, not many people step out into the big wide world and see what life has to offer and appreciate all that is around. I mean, some have been fortunate enough to like myself, I've traveled, I've lived in various different countries in various different worlds and with various different cultures, and have a fairly good understanding of how these cultures work, how they function. And one thing that intrigues me the most is those indigenous cultures that have not been bombarded with Christianity or the Bible or church, and are not swayed one way or the other. They believe in what their culture has taught them, which is of historical meaning. And we look at Maori particularly, or Aborigines, or the Pacific Islanders, and they have strong beliefs, they have strong feeling and strong passions within themselves on how to deal with mental illness, how to deal with drug abuse, how to deal with addictions, and how to deal with everybody within their community. It's all community spirit based. It's all based on spirit. And we in the modern world, we've lost touch with that spirit, that source. And that's the missing element. I've said this on many webinars before, we're so bombarded with technology, with news, with WhatsApp, with Viber, and all of this instant gratification. And whilst for some it serves in their business purpose and their daily life, it's an inherent issue. And since my youngest daughter has come home, I'm constantly telling her, why are you on your mobile phone all the time? You're living on your mobile phone, and you've forgotten the essence of discovery. Go and read a book, learn something from a book. She would rather watch a movie or talk to her friends on Facebook or things like this. And this is something that, unless we change this societal requirement for instant gratification, it's very difficult to move forward. We believe we're evolving in technology. We are evolving with technology. But what does technology do for us? It takes our time, it takes our energy, it's distracting. And I love seeing these news stories about people being fined for crossing the road whilst talking on their mobile phone. I think it's great. If a driver is penalized for driving his car because he can't focus on driving because he's talking on his mobile phone, pedestrians are the same. They can't focus on what's going on around them if they're busy with their fingers on a mobile phone. So it's important, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, that we go back to the very core of who we are and our purpose and our life purpose. And it goes back to this love. We're here to love. We're here to create peace and to live in peace and harmony. And last Sunday, I predicted the collapse of the ruble, the collapse of the oil price, and the stock markets falling and crashing. And they did. It happened. It was a logical thing to say, looking at the trend and looking at the news stories around. It caused a trigger. And this shows that news is a trigger for everything. And where does the news come from? The news comes from media moguls. It comes from the cabal. It comes from Illuminati. It comes from wherever. But it's there as a distraction. So if we cause panic in the stock markets and we cause panic in the oil markets, there's only one thing that's going to happen. It's going to collapse. And investors are going to run for the mountains. And then the markets or the cabal will pick up the market again because all of the investors are out. So it's sell high, buy low. And this is a very simple observation. This is a very simple tool that is used on a day-by-day basis in the global markets around the world. The powers that be don't want you and I to become rich or profit from trading on the markets. They want to be. So we create a news story that's going to cause panic. And lo and behold, it's broadcast and there's panic. And it's the same with any other news story. The stock markets are just a classic example because it's very easy to explain. And one of the things that I did say on Sunday was that we don't see people converting to cash. We don't see the trend on the other side of people moving their investments from out of the markets into a solid asset like gold. The gold price didn't rise according to what one would expect if we saw the markets falling. You know, we see a transfer into safe haven. This time we didn't see that, and we've seen people converting to cash. And on Friday, whatever day it was, we see the markets rally again, rising. Why is this, do you think? Because it's a buying opportunity, and there's only those that are in power with wealth that will always take advantage when the market is low. They will always buy low and they will always sell high. So you and I are always the losers. They are in control of these massive money machines. And the sooner we see this, the better, because it's all an illusion. I used to work in the Forex business. I know the illusion that's created there. Trillions of dollars traded on a daily basis. How? It's impossible. It's all electronic. It's all synchronized. People can manipulate trading platforms because it's all software based. The programmers are in there, the traders are in there, and they're basically manipulating. You invest in the forex market. Where does your money sit? It doesn't sit in the market. You never see that transaction. You see it in a trading platform. The trading platforms are controlled by the brokerage houses who are able to do whatever they want to suit their market conditions. So you will never get a true impression of what's going on. It's a transaction between you and the guy who's trading your account or trading on behalf of your account. That's an illusion. So somebody else is playing with your money. When we look at the energies that are going on, there's been a lot of anger, there's been a lot of remorse, there's been a lot of really negative energy around. And a lot of us that have been trying to clear templates and to help Gaia have, let's say, suffered. We've been hit for 6. We've come down with illnesses. We've had a lot of headaches. We've had a lot of pain, and we've had a lot of unusual experiences, a lot of dream states, a lot of stuff going on in our lives that have required us to really take a long look at what we're doing. We're doing it for the benefit of Mother Nature, of Gaia, of humanity, and we continue in this vein to work on breaking templates. And the harder we work, the harder the other side will push. It's always this push and pull dynamic. But we're succeeding. Things are happening in my life, things have happened in other people's lives that I know that are changing the dynamics of the way we live in. And we are being called, and we are literally being called to step up to our missions, to our life purpose, whatever that may be. I have no idea where I'm going. I know that I have important messages to share, and I know what I've learned in the last 18 months has been profound. It's a profound new knowledge. It's a remembrance of everything that I've learned in my whole life and those previously. And I'm being triggered now by other people that are part of my soul family, and I'm triggering them. So this dynamic, this grid of light is lighting up, and it's lighting up all over the world, because I don't just talk to people in my own town. I talk to people all over the world, in Australia, in the US, in Canada, in Europe, here in Croatia, in Russia. And I see what's happening in their lives. I see the dynamics of their lives that are changing. And this just proves to me that we are able to make a difference. And those people around them are also feeling the effects, because things are changing. We see the shift in the way that our loved ones are around us. I know my daughters have been sick this week, and with things that are new. My youngest daughter, Amy, has had impetigo, which is a skin, and her whole face came up like, it looked like scabies, looked like leprosy. It looked like all of these things that you don't want to see, and it's very tough for a teenage girl to go through that. Very tough for me as a father who hasn't gone through that before, to try and coach her into accepting who she is on the inside, is what people like about her, what people love about her. As tough for a teenager to swallow. And she's been at home all week. She hasn't been to school. She wouldn't go out the house. She went out the house yesterday for the first time, Thursday for the first time. One of her friends came and surprised her yesterday and said exactly the same as what I said to her. It's you that we love. It's not what you look like on the surface. And this reminds me of one of the first webinars that I did with Carrie about naked and pure. Our skin is just a wrapper. We're white, yellow, brown, green, purple, pink, whatever color we are on the outside, we're all the same on the inside. So it doesn't matter if we're wearing Armani or made in Taiwan jeans or anything like that. We live without labels. But society is forcing labels on us. To be the best person in the world, you must wear designer brands. And this is nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. But it just causes you to buy. So you're consumer driven. Industry is consumer driven. We create consumerism. We create instant gratification. We create mobile phones that break down after a year to make you buy a new one. We program cars to last 7 years. The life cycle of a car is 7 years before the next model is brought out. I know these things because I've worked in these industries. I've worked in the way that these cars and these engineers are working. They're working 7 years in advance for the next model. So your car that you're driving, which is brand new out of the showroom, is old technology. It's not new technology. It's old. That's why they have upgrades. That's why they have facelifts, because the technology ages. So when you're out and about, realize everything that's around you is already old. The only thing that's new is this green Mother Nature. Every day there's something new. Every day there's something new. Everything that you have in your life is something old. That's something that's just come out of my mouth that I didn't expect to say, but it is true. Mother Nature is always producing something new. We as man are always producing something old, because it takes time for us to get it into place, get it into the market, to design it, to package it, to make it look good, to do all the marketing. Mother Nature does that every day. If she wants to give you a show, she'll rain, she'll snow, she'll blow, she'll do 4 seasons in one day. Something that I've seen once in my life. In February, winter, summer, spring, autumn, I've seen it in one day. So that's new. This is what we should be appreciating, because the latest iPhone is not new. They're already working on the next iPhone today. They're already working on the next Ford today. So it's not new. But there's so much hype around that it is new. So our perception of what is new is destroyed. We have no idea what is new. Mother Nature does. It's here. Every second this plant is growing new, something new. It's not destroyed. It's something new. It's as simple as that. Every time the sun comes up, it's a new day. Every time the moon rises, it's a new night. Every second is a new second. Every minute is a new minute. Every day is a new day. Every week is a new week. It's all new. We are old. Quite profound, I think, don't you? But it's true. And that's the basis. Living in the here and now, with no expectations, with no demands, with no wants, is the only way for you to appreciate who you really are. You can deal with all of the psychology, you can deal with your spirituality, you can deal with everything that needs to be healed to get you to this place of appreciating this plant, appreciating this cup, appreciating the tea or coffee or water, whatever you're drinking. That's new. You consume it, it's new for you. My technology is getting old, and I've had so many technology issues with my computer during this retrograde. My washing machine blew up 2 days ago. Things are just stopped working because of the energies within our household. I have no idea. It just stops working. There's no explanation. With regard to the twin community, what's going on with the twin community? The twin community is running around like headless chickens still. All of these false prophets, all of these get cured overnight. I promise to cure you. I promise to get you better. I promise to heal your energies. I promise this. I promise this. I promise this. The only thing that I can say to you, they can't give you those promises, because the only person that is in control of that is you. I can help you. I can counsel you. I can give you tools to help you get to your inner self. But it's only you that is in control of it. Only you can go and make that commitment to yourself that this is the right thing for you to do. Because dealing with your psyche is not pleasant. As soon as you start to open Pandora's box, everything comes rushing back. Everything that you've ever done, everything that you've ever felt, it's remembering. And the more you heal your psyche, the more you remember. And the more you remember, the more you can heal. And you go back into your childhood and you start to remember what you did as a kid, what you didn't do as a kid. And this is all positive. And no matter what anybody says to you, people can be healed energetically. Yes, they can. Energies are energies. Your aura is your aura. Your soul is your soul. But your brain is a brain. It's a muscle. It's a mass. And the mass has been programmed by another mass. And the only way that you're going to deal with that is by going into that mass, to understand, to deal with the crap and the bullshit and everything that you've gone through in your life, and to close the door on it and to move forward. And spirituality is spirituality. The psyche is the psyche. The body is the body. Mind, body, soul. 3 different things. And I've said this before. The 3 need to intertwine. The 3 need to merge. You can go into biblical terms. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. It's the same principle. When they merge, you become whole. You're merging the 3 entities together, the 3 parts together, and you're whole. And you start to think differently. You start to perceive things differently, from a different perspective, from a different light. And you will leave these people behind. And it is an ascension. It is ascension of intellect. It's an ascension of thought process. You're no longer down where society wants to keep you, in 3D or 2D, wherever you want to be. 2 dimension, 3 dimension, it doesn't matter. Society keeps you down there. When you open your mind to other things, you become in touch with yourself, and you become in touch with reality, your reality. And your reality is the most important reality in the world, because nothing else matters. Without you, there's nothing. If you don't exist, how can you appreciate anything? If you don't exist, how can you love anything? How can you feel anything? So where does this all start? It starts with you. Without you, there's nothing. Your legacy may go on, but you're not there. You will have no oversight over your legacy. You have your grandchildren or children or whatever in your life. When you're gone, you're gone. You are no longer here. And you have no control over it. The only thing you have control over now is yourself. We need to stop trying to control people, what they're doing, how they're doing it. Give them the freedom to explore and make their own mistakes. We can't heal other people that don't want to be healed. We can't help people that don't want to be helped. And I know that many are trying to come to grips with me included, trying to guide our beloveds in a way that we know will help them on that journey. But everyone's journey is individual, is unique. So we don't know what's good for them. We believe we know because what worked for us worked for us. But because everyone's different, what will work for them will work for them. And only they can make those choices. They may come back and ask for guidance, and you can share guidance. You can share your knowledge and your wisdom. But we can't heal them. We cannot help them unless they ask for help. It's like an alcoholic. An alcoholic can only get help when he's ready to admit that he's an alcoholic. And the admission of being an alcoholic is not necessarily the beginning of the help. It's the start of his journey his or her journey into understanding that he has an alcohol problem. It's the same with anything in life. The only way that we are going to get better is to want to do it and to believe that we can do it. So the only thing we can give our beloveds is encouragement, love, light, energy, and our best wishes. And I know from what's happened in my week compared to what it was the week before has changed. The communication has changed dynamically between me and my beloved. Changed to a stop. I've been told not to contact any longer. And I will respect that until I have a sign. And that sign will come in whatever shape or form. And only then will I make an attempt to contact. Because now it's also time for me to put my energies into my beautiful children, into my beautiful life, into the next phase of my journey, which is to go into mission, which is helping others and sharing that message. And yes, I'll be starting a radio show on the 15th of February. And hopefully it's better than the live broadcast today. We'll have plenty of time to get it ready. But it's about sharing that news and sharing that positivity. And what's coming is tremendous. What's coming is beautiful. But only if you're working on yourself. And every day you should be working on yourself. Ground yourself every day. Be in nature. You know, I'm one of the most grounded people that I talk to. And I'm pulling people down out of 5D and beyond because we live in a 3D reality. It's cool to go into 5D and beyond to interact with our beloved, but we live here. We enjoy our life here. We have to appreciate what we have here. And it is the reality. It's the reality that we were given when we came into this world. We chose to come into this body. We chose our parents. We chose our family. And we're here to experience it. And we need to experience it fully. We need to get to grips with our spirituality, but we need to get to grips with 3D reality too. Because the reality of how we live is the way that we'll go forward. Helping others to learn what we've learned about truth, the truth of who we are. And when you have the truth of who you are, your perception is different. Your perception on life is different. What we appreciate is different. I've given up caffeine a week ago, and I don't feel any different. I'm drinking decaf coffee now. I don't feel any different. I reduced my cigarette intake by 50%. I don't feel any different. I may do in a few weeks. I may become younger, or I may become older. I don't know. But I know that I've had a lot of third eye pain. I've had a lot of eye pressure. I've had a lot of toothache, really toothache. And this afternoon, even my head was about to explode. So there's lots of things going on, and what is coming is beautiful. But we have to continue this work. Our self development has not finished, because we're ascending, and more challenges will come our way, and it will be a challenge every day. And then finally, everything will come up roses. And whether that means you're with your beloved or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is you, how you feel, how you live. If you're not with your beloved in this reality, you will be with somebody that loves you and you love, because we are loving beings. And the universe will never let us down in that regard. You may be single for months, years, whilst you're doing this work. I know I have been. But I also know that I'm ready to go into my mission, and I'm open to receiving love of a partner. Whether that's my beloved or not, I don't know. I believe it should be, and I believe it could be. But what will be, will be. Where I am is where I am. And one thing I can say to you, with the messages that I've received this week from my beloved, 3 months ago, my ego would have just gone, but I just laughed. And I tell you why I laughed was because these were similar messages. No, I never received similar messages to this. These were harsh. This was a harsh message that she sent me. It wasn't very nice. It was like an attack. And on the surface, I thought, this is pure ego. And I laughed. I laughed because I read it and it was like my words coming out. 18 months ago, when the similar situation, when she left my life, physical life, I was a mess. I was at my lowest point in my life. I was very, very vulnerable. I was at a low point in my life, and this was just the icing on the cake. So I look at where I was 18 months ago to where I am today. I'm a completely different person. I'm stronger. I've worked on myself. I don't have this urge to reach out. I don't have this urge to connect or want to even speak with her. I have this urge now to help myself continue to grow. And she'll catch up. She'll get it. She will get it. And I know in the future we will connect again. And I know that we will see each other again. But what will be, will be. It's not for me to decide. I may have to make a decision in the future whether I want or would like this union to occur. I can't forget that I spent 3.5 years in union, physical union, not knowing that she was my twin. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I didn't know. I'm grateful for what I know today. I'm grateful for the opportunity to enlighten myself. And I'm grateful to the universe for bringing this beautiful person in my life, this beautiful soul, the other half of my soul, back into my life. I know what fun we had. I know what we experienced. And I know that we will experience it again. Whether it's in 5 years, 10 years, 2 millennia, I don't know. But what I do know is I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live my life with my children. And I know that love will come, as far as a partner is concerned, into my life. So I can enjoy intimacy. I can enjoy sleeping with somebody, and I can enjoy sex with somebody. can enjoy coffee with somebody. The rest doesn't matter. Life goes on. As there aren't many of you here, I'm going to end this webinar now. I will come back in a couple of weeks' time with another webinar, and hopefully the technology will be better and we won't have these issues again. I wish you well. Take care. Good night.